Singapore is full of stories whispered late at night, tales of things that linger in our homes, on our streets, even in the places we think are safe. Tonight on the Morbid Codex, we bring you another 3 true horror stories. Turn off the lights and listen closely. My dad used to work night shifts for SMRT back in the early 90s. He was stationed at Bishan MRT, one of those above ground stations. Unlike today, there weren't CCTV cameras everywhere, no 24-hour convenience shops, nothing. At night, the place was basically deserted. Imagine a huge station, completely still, with only 1 or 2 staff around. He told me one night he was so exhausted after locking up the ticket counters that he decided to rest. He slipped off his shoes, stretched himself out on one of the platform benches, and covered his face with the day's newspaper. The humming of the fluorescent lights above, the faint buzzing of the tracks below, it was all he could hear. And it started. First, a giggling sound, soft, like a child. At first, he thought maybe some kid had snuck in, so he stayed still under the newspaper, pretending to sleep. But the giggles, they didn't sound right. They circled him, left, then right, then behind, like someone was playing hide and seek with him. Then, he felt it. Something tickled his toes. He sat up instantly, newspaper flying off. He spun around, scanning the platform. Empty. No one. His shoes still neatly by the bench. The air felt colder than usual, as if someone had just been there. And then, clear as day, he heard it. A girl's voice behind him, speaking in Malay. She said, "Eh, ini jejaka lah." Which means, "Oh, it's a guy." My dad froze. That word, jejaka, was something people used back in the 60s and 70s. By the 90s, no one spoke like that anymore. It was old, outdated, like hearing a voice from another time. He didn't turn around. He didn't want to. He just shoved on his shoes and sprinted down the platform to find his colleague. He didn't even bother explaining, just told the man, "Don't ask, I'm not staying here alone." Right after his shift ended, he walked straight to the mosque nearby and prayed until sunrise. Till today, if you ask him whether stations are haunted, he won't answer directly. He'll just give you a tired smile and say, "Never ever sleep on the benches." Back in the 90s, my family lived on the 4th floor of a HDB in Bukit Batok. To us, it was just a normal block. Kids playing under the block, families hanging laundry out, corridors cluttered with plants and shoes, the usual. But the nights? The nights always felt different. Almost every night, around 10, sometimes closer to midnight, we'd hear kids playing under the block. You know the sound, running footsteps, giggles, kids screaming. The thing was, it was always late, too late for kids to be out. One night, my mum had enough. She asked our second-floor neighbors if their kids were the ones playing. They looked confused and said, "No, our girls are asleep by 8. They've never played downstairs at night." And it wasn't just the children's laughter. We'd hear furniture dragging at odd hours. Heavy thuds above us, like someone dragging a chair, or footsteps pacing. Once my elder sister went upstairs to complain, only to find out the family above us, just an old lady, her daughter in her mid-40s and their maid, heard it too. But they swore it came from above them like the 6th or 7th floor. Then there was the lift. At night, it always acted strange. You'd press 4, but instead, it would shoot up to the 7th floor. The doors would jam for a few minutes before opening, leaving us stranded inside. We reported it to town council, but the technician said it was a circuit board malfunction. But funny, how it only ever happened after dark. The worst night was our last night there. We were already in the middle of moving. Around midnight, instead of laughter, we heard screaming. Children crying, but not the playful kind, real crying. Screams of pain, shouts in Mandarin, voices begging for help. The sounds echoed for hours. We didn't dare look outside. We sat together in our room, lights on, frozen. By sunrise, we were gone. Even now, when I pass through Bukit Batok, I feel uneasy, because I keep asking myself, what exactly did we hear? Kids playing, kids suffering, or something pretending to be both? In 2004, Singapore had one of its worst blackouts. I was 12 at the time. The whole neighborhood went dark. No lights, no fans, just candle flames flickering against the walls. The silence was heavy, broken only by people fanning themselves with newspapers. My dad, a taxi driver, was already asleep in his room. He always knocked out early after his long 12-hour shifts. My brother and I were in the living room, killing time, chatting about the Channel 8 drama we had watched earlier. That's when my brother's Nokia rang. The caller, ID, Dad. We stared at each other. His phone was right next to his bed. We could literally hear him snoring from the bedroom. Still, my brother answered. The moment he picked up, a man's voice screamed, just raw, agonizing screams, like someone was being tortured. My brother, shocked and puzzled, asked, "Who is this?" But the screaming suddenly stopped. Then the voice started rattling off numbers. Fast, random, meaningless. We froze. My brother repeated, "Who the hell is this?" And then silence. Few seconds later, laughter. Not normal laughter. This was long, drawn out, almost manic. Like whoever it was enjoyed our fear. The laughter kept going until the line cut. A few minutes later, the phone rang again. Same number. Dad's number. But my brother refused to pick it up this time. We just let it ring and ring until it finally stopped. He switched off his phone after that. The next morning, we told our father what had happened. We looked through his phone. No outgoing calls at all. He had been fast asleep the whole night. I don't know what we heard that night. Maybe a line glitch due to the blackout? Maybe something else. But I'll tell you this. Till today, whenever my phone rings in the middle of the night, especially if it says Dad, my heart skips a beat. Because I'll never forget those screams. And that laugh. Some stories never leave us. They stay in our minds, in the shadows of familiar places, waiting to be remembered. This has been the Morbid Codex. Until the next series, stay safe and don't look back when you're alone.